Hello friends, welcome back to the video lecture series on artificial intelligence and machine learning. I am Dr. Dafda, and in this 40th video class of AI/ML, we will start the new chapter beyond classical search. And in this video lecture, we will understand the topic local search algorithms and optimization problems in artificial intelligence. Starting with the name, what is classical search? Classical search refers to traditional AI search algorithms such as BFS, DFS, UCS, greedy best first search, A-star search, etc., which search for a path from a start state to a goal state. These algorithms usually store and explore many paths systematically, whereas local search focuses only on improving the current state and usually ignores the path taken. Okay. Next, what are optimization problems? See, optimization problems are problems where the goal is to find the best possible solution from many possible solutions according to some objective function or heuristic cost. For example, finding the shortest route, minimum cost, maximum profit, or the best arrangement of queens in the 8 queens problem are optimization problems. Okay, so let us start. See, till now we studied systematic searches such as BFS, DFS, A-star, etc., where the computer carefully remembers every path it explores. But think about a puzzle like the 8 queens problem. Does it matter which queen you placed first or second? No. All we care about is the final arrangement on the chessboard where no queen kills another queen. So this brings us to a new class of smart algorithms called the local search algorithms that completely ignores the path history and save the computational power. So what is a local search algorithm? Algorithms that evaluate and modify one or more current states directly instead of building paths from a start state. See, unlike BFS or DFS, a local search algorithm does not save a big map or path history in the computer memory. It only looks at one single state at a time, or you can say the exact position where it is standing right now. To move forward, it simply checks its immediate next neighbors, picks the best option, jumps there, and completely forgets how it reached that point. It is exactly like climbing a mountain in a very heavy fog at night with a small torch. Because of thick fog, you cannot see the starting point or the long path behind you. You can only see one step ahead around your feet, and you just keep moving to whichever side takes you higher. Okay. See, in our previous video classes, we always had a strict goal test, like checking if our agent has reached Bucharest or if all the puzzle tiles matched a exact target image. But in real world optimization problems, there is no fixed goal template and the path cost is completely useless to us. Instead of goal test, we use a numeric scoring system called an objective function. Think of it like a college grading system where every state gets a score or marks. If the score measures something bad like cost, errors, or fuel waste, we want to find the state with absolute lowest score, which we call the global minimum. But if the score measures something good like company profit or system efficiency, we want to find the absolute highest score, which is called the global maximum. See, to make this clear, look at the example of Darwinian evolution in nature. See, nature does not sit with a final blueprint or a goal test to create a perfect animal. Also, there is no path cost. Okay, nature only uses one single scoring system called reproductive fitness as its objective function. It simply checks which creature can survive and reproduce better in its environment, automatically trying to maximize that fitness score step by step over millions of years. So remember, in optimization problems, we are not looking for a path. We are only hunting for the best possible score on our landscape. Now let us understand a very beautiful concept called the state space landscape. To understand this easily, imagine a massive mountain range with many small hills, deep valleys, and one absolute highest peak. In our local search, our AI problem looks exactly like this mountain range. Your current state is just the exact location where you are standing on the ground, and your objective function score is your elevation, meaning how much high up you are. Now imagine you are a mountain climber whose absolute goal is to reach the absolute highest peak of this entire area, which we call the global maximum. But here is the main problem. Because of heavy fog, you can only see the ground right around your feet. So you simply decide to walk upwards. The danger here is that you might climb up a very small hill, which is the local maximum, and get stuck there. Why? Because from that small hill, every single direction goes downwards, and you will wrongly assume that you have reached the ultimate top of the world, even though the real king mountain is standing somewhere else. And remember, you are not allowed to go down. Also, you might get confused on a flat surface like a shoulder or a flat local maximum where the elevation doesn't change at all. And this makes it hard to find which way to go. So local search algorithms are nothing but different clever strategies used by this mountain climber to find the absolute highest peak without getting fooled by smaller hills or flat plateaus. Okay. Now you may have a question in your mind that why should we prefer an algorithm that isn't systematically exploring everything and can get stuck on a smaller hill? The first and the biggest reason is memory. Traditional algorithms like BFS or A* store every single path they explore, which consumes massive amounts of RAM. If the problem is huge, your computer will simply crash or hang. Local search, on the other hand, only saves the current path in the memory, meaning its memory requirement is completely constant, using almost zero RAM. The second major benefit is that it easily handles infinite or continuous spaces, where drawing a traditional search tree is practically impossible. So because of these two advantages, local search is heavily used everywhere in the industry. For example, when tech companies design computer microchips, they have to arrange millions of microscopic components on a tiny piece of silicon, and a systematic tree search would completely fail here. But local search finds a brilliant layout easily. Similarly, big logistic companies use it for vehicle routing, like deciding the absolute best route for a group of delivery trucks. And financial experts use it for portfolio management to pick up the best combination of stocks to maximize profits. So remember, when a problem becomes very large and difficult, local search helps us find a good solution quickly using very little memory. Okay, so to navigate these complex hills and valleys, computer scientists have developed some very clever strategies inspired by nature, and these are examples of different local search algorithms. First one is hill climbing search. This is like a blind climber who only takes a step if it goes upward. This strategy is very simple, but it easily gets completely fooled and stuck on a smaller hill, that is local maximum, or stops moving on a flat ground, that is plateau. Second one is simulated annealing. This is a smaller climber who is allowed to take a few random downward steps or jumps early in the journey. Why? So that if they get stuck on a smaller hill, taking a few downward steps helps them escape that trap and look for a bigger mountain. Third one is local beam search. Here, instead of one single climber, imagine a team of 4 or 5 climbers exploring different hills simultaneously. They continuously look at each other's heights and focus their energy only on the paths of the most successful teammates. And last one is genetic algorithms. This is like taking 2 climbers who have reached very good heights okay, combining their coordinates like DNA crossover and instantly teleporting a new generation of climbers onto a completely new part of mountain range to see if it is even higher. Okay, so we will study these algorithms in further video classes. So that is all for this video class. You will find the link to download the PPTs from the description box. Thank you very much.